out all stops to pass the GST bill, but the model law is far from a finished product. In this special series, GST Classroom, we bring you the structural issues that are yet to be ironed out on this landmark tax legislation will affect each and every sector. Today, we look at the overall GST structure to weigh in the pros and cons.
Level, you have the excise duty, the service tax, and the customs duty. At the state level, you have the state sales tax / VAT, you have the luxury tax, the entertainment tax, you have octroi and several other taxes. So now, what is proposed under GST? One single tax which will subsume, which will bring under its net all the taxes that we just mentioned. But can it be so simple? Of course not. So therefore, we have a little bit of complication introduced in, and we have a dual structure GST. What does that mean? We have a central GST and a state GST. Central GST will be levied by the central government, state GST by the state governments, and you have an integrated GST or the IGST, which is a tax on interstate supplies that shall be levied by the central government, collected by the central government, and then apportioned among the states. So that is the structure that we have about the GST. May not sound very complicated, but of course, when we talk of a single tax, it's not as simple as a single tax.
Well, you're right. So let's go across to PV Srinivasan. He joins us now to also add his comments to the conversation that we were just having with Arun. It may sound simple, Mr. Srinivasan, but perhaps it isn't really. And we've often spoken about how this is maybe an unhappy compromise, but at least a step forward towards a single rate GST. In the interim, as we move towards this structure, what are the big problems and challenges that you envisage?
The single largest problem in the design of GST is that in the ability to value the transactions and levy the tax that is appropriate to that value. The valuation is based on what is called transaction value, which is there are different methods which have been prescribed for transaction value. I would like the transaction value to be more simpler, giving an option to the suppliers to choose a method which is most appropriate to them, rather than place a hierarchy of valuation methods.
What else would you like to see being taken forward to ensure that this is a process that is easy to comply with and it smoothens out some of the rough edges that we've just spoken about?
Right now, the design of GST is that the taxes travel along with the transaction. We can remove the nexus of taxes traveling along with the transaction. Still, the payment can be made from a central location under a central registration, so that the administration of central levies is at a single point, both for goods as well as services, rather than decentralizing into a state level. Though they are central levies, the administration, the way it is conceived today, it is at a state level. I would see that if the administration of central levies at a central level and the state levy, that is SGST at the state level, that will be bringing about a greater efficiency to GST.
Let's now shift